Hello, friends. Happy Saturday. Today we're reflecting on Matthew 25, verses 31 through 46. In this weekend's gospel, Jesus is telling his disciples about what it will be like when he comes again. And Jesus speaks of all of the angels who will be accompanying him. He speaks of his glorious throne, and he speaks about all the nations that will assemble before him. And then he talks about separating the people like a shepherd separates sheep from the goats. And on his right are the righteous who will receive eternal life, and on his left those who will suffer eternal punishment. And it's so important because when asked why they were separated in the way that they were, Jesus distinguishes between those who gave him food when he was hungry, gave him a drink when he was thirsty, welcomed him when he was a stranger, clothed him when he was naked, cared for him when he was ill, and visited him when he was imprisoned, and those who did not. And they literally all ask, but when did we encounter you in any of these conditions? And Jesus says, that which you did or did not do to the least of these, you did or did not do for me. And we know in the full context of the gospel that we can't gain heaven by doing good things. Jesus isn't saying, you did all these nice things for your neighbors, therefore you earned your way into eternal glory. Rather, when we have received the gift of God's grace through faith in baptism, our life changes. There is a love that wells up within us now, and as St. Paul says, it is no longer I, but Christ who lives in me. So our lives look different. We have received Christ, and now we cooperate with him in his Spirit within us. So as a fruit of the Spirit in us and our cooperation with him, we live in a certain way as a set-apart people. And I love that Jesus is showing when we live our lives in imitation of him, in this response to the Spirit, it's about service, justice for the poor, protecting, upholding, and honoring every human life we encounter, because each one of us is beloved by him and made in his image and likeness. And I actually just recently learned that beloved means highly favored, and God calls you beloved. You are highly favored by the God of the universe, and he calls us to love and to serve those around us in a way that he has already done first for us. So I think this week is a great opportunity for a twofold reflection. First, to ponder all the times in our own stories where Jesus has accompanied us in our hurts, in our sadness, in our sorrows. Even though it can be sometimes hard to perceive, he was there and he's always been there. In our thirst, he brought us drink. In our illness, he tended to us, probably oftentimes through other people. But he's been there all along, accompanying and honoring you. And I think it's also a great opportunity to reflect on those in our lives who we are called to feed, to give drink to clothe, to visit, to tend to. Maybe that's in a very practical sense, like feeling a stirring to start volunteering. Or maybe you're a parent and the Lord is inviting you to ponder the reality that you are serving the least of these every day when you feed and clothe and give a drink to your children in their sippy cups. Or maybe you're called to notice the least of these among you in your workplace, those who hunger and thirst for connection or suffer from isolation. Whatever that looks like, the Lord has a personal invitation for you and for me. He desires to work through us, to be his hands and feet in the lives of those he has placed around us. And even more at the heart of it, he desires to show you that each and every person he has breathed into existence and continues to sustain with his very care, including you, is his beloved and highly favored one that he hopes to one day lead into eternal life. So that's all I got today, my friends. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next Saturday.